Good morning, everybody. I'm Old Man Sugarheart. Today we're playing Blueprints. Today is day 17. We learned a little bit on Monday. Whoa. Did a little spin. First off, I grab this money. Face ace. Remember that. Face ace. So we keep seeing all of those drawings, and everyone is like one word minus another word, and it gives you a letter, right? I've been keeping track. I've found maybe like 25 of those, and I keep finding more. And this is a shelter. I'm gonna keep doing the shelter until I get this safe open. All right, time lock safe. I set it for the future. It is 8 a.m. And it has to be at least 1 hour in advance. So we set it for 10. Today is 7 plus 17, which is 24. Probably. We're not going to worry about it too much. But like we know we arrived on the day of the 7th of November. That was day 1. So day 17 should be 17 days after that, right? Unless like I need to subtract like the first day. So like it's either the 24th or the 23rd. And I don't feel like figuring that out in my head. It would be painful. Okay, so face minus ace is F. And I found like 25 of these pictures, right? And at first I thought I was like building up for some acronym. But the more I do it, the more it feels like that can't be the case. And if that can't be the case, I feel like it's important like the door I open starts with an F, but that wasn't an option. But like here we've got pine minus pin. Like I was thinking like maybe it's something I do in the room has to do with this puzzle. What? Pine minus pin, that's E. None of these start with an E. I do like walk-in closets. Got a stag tag here. Ooh, car keys. There's supposed to be 4 items. Ah. The shoes look like they belong here, but they definitely don't belong to her. Lady Clara Epson. Bedroom. Why not? What items I get? Car keys, shoes. Things that are safe to forget about. This is a great place for a passageway. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep hanging out near the south. Because I want to find more gems. Oh, hey. Oh, no observatory for me? Yes, I will just take gems. Okay, prayer, prior. That would be the letter A. But here's the deal. I could never draft a room off of the storeroom. So if my first theory was correct, like why would they have drawings in there at all? A. Boiler room is a power source. Fairly rare one. Do like this room a lot. Is all the power on? Because I played with it last time. I got nothing. Okay. Oop. Let's turn you on. You shoot steam up there and there. Extend the bridge. Door is open. Okay. Can't push the down button. This is on. All three are on. Okay. Whatever room I open on this side is going to be powered. I gotta actually open this room. Which I can do providing power to you. I also need bridge extended, right? Need the bridge extended and possibly the elevator. Or Let's see, in cool streams, custom visuals are your thing? Add you on Discord? No. Silly scammer. That's not how we do things around here. Power. I don't have a lot of choice, but maybe the darkroom could stay in some power? Look at that. A magnifying glass. I could read that. Who's photographing this man? Got an overexposed picture of maids. A Cinca camera. Oh, yeah. Taking pictures in the mirror. Classic. Ooh, E. Print notes. HS has requested yet another print of her ladyship, I assume for one of her rooms in the West Wing, as well as an enlarged print of the enclosed photograph. He said that the last development was too dark. Keep an eye on that. 80 Epson. And this... I think this might be the photograph they were talking about. And I bet that's the combination. The lock. I'm gonna need a magnifying glass. Plain plan. And it's you two again. It's you two again. And it's you two again. And this. Who are you? Who are you? Let's see, egg timer or camera. Oh, I've got power here. Is there anything else I need to do? I keep seeing these things behind Herbert. I wonder if those are levers. Like, they're always hard to make out. Alright, I need a magnifying glass. Put something here? More likely to draw red rooms. Feel like that's good, but like, I mean, it's innately bad, but I think there's a reason you might want to go in exclusively red rooms. Plain minus plan is E. Laboratory. I'm curious. I powered this room. The power keeps going. So is there power in this room now? There is. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. This is all very exciting. Because we solved this puzzle. It was push 3 up after 9. 9? 3. This is a big day for us. To be down there. The blackbridge grotto has been powered and permanently unlocked. Each day you may access one offline terminal from the network. Hello? Experiment setup. In the laboratory, you are free to experiment by testing and combining different mechanics. Create an original and unique house feature that will last until the end of the day. The main menu. Research logs. Into the network. Remote terminal access. View active terminals. No. Office. Yeah. I can connect to it using the blackbridge connection. Barrel? Red gold? I was hoping like a room upgrade would be doable here. Okay, what do you say? Effective immediately. Electronic mail can only be accessed via security terminal. That's not true. Red notes are lies. Pause experiment. There are no experiments in progress. Experiment setup. Continue with experiments. While drafting, if you draw a drawing room floor plan, lose steps, gain money. Oh. I draft a hallway from another hallway. So this is rare enough that it might happen twice, but it probably won't. What I'm gonna do is immediately gain 1 star. Start experiments. Like, we'll just always do that. Because stars are kind of like a permanent benefit, and I would love to just keep them and them going and going. Typically work over at Cinca. Yeah. I'm familiar with your work, Kimberly Thompson. Magnifying glass. That is exactly what we wanted. Man, today is a good progress day. $11.28. $11.28, huh? Or is it 11 minus 28? Let's double check the other tree photo. The other orchard photo. And 28. Okay. It's a camera, all right. What are you keeping a secret? Letting me know that there is a lever in this room. Okay, but more importantly, what is your deal? Green memos found in Hartley's room are always false. Thank you. Hartley, huh? Are you a good guy? That's the thing about you. If you're Caleb Manning, you're super obsessed with the color red since you were a child, which means maybe you're a lie? Alright, so there's a million pictures of these two. This one's probably the best one. Where are you hiding from me? It's past 10 o'clock. Let's see. We're gonna go back outside. We're gonna check on something. We're gonna check to see if the safe opened in the nuclear shelter. And while we're out here, we should open the apples. And as long as we're opening apples, we should check out the, what was it, backwater grotto? Blackwater grotto? This did not open. So I think maybe my mistake was that day one should have been subtracted from the date. So instead of being the 24th, it's actually the 23rd. We'll figure it out. All right. I don't remember where that weird door was. So first we're going to go to the orchard and maybe we will see it along the way. Saw it along the way. Absolutely crazy. Microchip. Looks like it might be plugged in somewhere. Well, here, for one, blackbridge admin controls. Swan song? Shoot, I don't actually know. $100? Aye, ooh. What could that mean? Possibly a pattern in the house? Rooms with 0 exits, rooms with 1 exit? Alright, so I stole a microchip. And I need to know the Blackwater admin password. And you... The tree was chopped down. That's why the password isn't here anymore. 1128. You did it. The orchard. The apple orchard has been permanently unlocked and added to your camp starting tomorrow. You'll start each day with an extra $20. By dollars, I mean steps. The heck are these? Why do I have smokestacks out here? Any case. Click. That's all 4 of those. There's the great glass elevator. can get wonked. Oh, sundial? What are you telling me? Not 2 p.m. That would be crazy. You're acting like you're 2 p.m. Gardener's logbook, April 10th. When I first came to the estate in the capacity of the new groundskeeper, I was a little dismayed to find that my predecessor had kept no notes, no logbook, no record of any kind regarding the various gardens and green rooms of the house under his care. As a result of his improvidence, in the first few months of my post, I suffered a number of embarrassing professional blunders that I believe could have been avoided with even a few scraps of imparting wisdom from the previous groundsman. To that end, I will make an effort to make some record of my dealings in the estate in as much as it pertains to horticulture and general tomfoolery. Robert Nagula, groundskeeper. Among my many commissioned duties, I have been tasked with the conservation and oversight of Mount Holly's alluring grounds. My domain stretches from the gate and encompasses the apple orchard, entrance drive, and east yard. Fortunately, my workload, the maintenance of the west grounds has not been a priority since Lady Epson's death and the ensuing closure of the west wing. Nevertheless, I take some pride in my work, so I still endeavor to brush the west path every weekly, even if none but myself take notice. In addition to maintaining the grounds, there are 8 rooms within the house that require some level of upkeep and light groundskeeping. The majority of these, I discovered, are only draftable on the perimeter of the house along the east and the west wing. The terrace, the patio, veranda, morning room, greenhouse, and secret garden all fall within this category. Barren ground, a poor soil, good soil, rich soil. This is a handy note. One of the first tasks I undertook as groundskeeper was to conduct a survey of the various plots of soil underneath each slot on both the east and west wings of the house. And while I would have preferred a full survey of all 45 plots of the house, it was clear that the inconvenience of such an undertaking would produce was in no way worth the extra data, especially considering the rooms that would benefit from this survey only appear in the wings. To quantify the soil quality, I measured the soil's capacity to support crop growth and to maximize the promise of high yields. The survey ended up taking 2 weeks due to some difficulty reaching the higher ranks, but the project was well worth the effort. As suspected, the room position has a direct relationship with the amount of fruit spread from gardens and the amount of flowers that can bloom in the greenhouse. We haven't unlocked the greenhouse. Was that? Never been in the greenhouse. Curious. Smudge pots. Oh, that's what these are. A few years ago, Baron made the long overdue decision to switch from gas lighting to electrical power. The installation of the new system was a substantial undertaking, and almost every room in the house had to be equipped with new fixtures and wiring. Thankfully, these renovations did not expend beyond the mansion's interior, and all the lamps and equipment used outside of the house are still connected and powered by a gas line. Including but not limited are the orchard's smudge pots. The smudge pots found among the apple trees here in the orchard are a critical necessity thanks to the cold temperatures and high altitude of the estate. These gas burners stack heaters, prevent frost, and should be kept on during the winter months to ensure daily yield of apples. When the smudge pots are not in use, The orchard's gas line should be turned off to conserve resources for the estate's other gas-powered machinery and appliances. After a few months of idleness, I finally have a new cause to champion. I've submitted a request for a change of scenery. Specifically, I would like to replace a statue of Orinda, currently in the cloister, with the much more appropriate angel, Rhina. After all, as beautiful as the statue is, shouldn't the greenery of Mount Holly be governed by the paragon of gardening? Though amused, I do not think Anne took the request too seriously, though she did humor me and listen to me rave and pontificate on the subject for the better part of lunch yesterday. She wonders why I avoid tending the cloister. Truth be told, I've forgotten how to access the inner garth, and am too scared of chastisement to probe for the particulars for a third time. Best rendition. Pretty good considering I have only ever seen Rhina's depiction in the chapel. They're all fascinating. Hang on. Secret about you? Ooh. You look gold. What happens if I turn you? The light goes off. But okay. So I'm going to need you to power this elevator. But if I want the steps, I need to turn you back off. All right, here we go. Hello, Sushi Dragon. How are you doing? We're having a good time. We made a lot of progress, including discovering whatever this is. You gonna die down here? Let's see. Foreman's log number 3. As our client Thomas Sinclair has suspected, the arches that were visible from the south cliff were part of a much longer arcade carved into the rock face. Last week, when our crew first arrived, only 2 supporting pillars were visible. But after only a few days of clearing vines, moss, and dirt, we uncovered a dozen more. Our exploration so far has been limited and entirely superficial, as every shaft we surveyed has ended abruptly, and every promising path leading deeper into the mountain has been blocked by tunnels packed tight with soil, rock, and debris. This site is either much older than we first assumed, or someone deliberately had these chambers buried. You're doing all right, and me? I'm doing okay. Got a full night's sleep for the first time in a million years. It's always a struggle in the springtime. There's just so much sunlight, and I hate going to bed when there's sun out. Like it feels like a waste. Oh. Can't see the map of the house from here? Yes, I can. But the king is there. We'll put the queen next to it. Then just spread these guys around. I don't know what that means yet, but we'll figure it out. What if I put the pawn in the entranceway? This is like a test to see if I have any control over anything. Ormond's copy. Do not remove from sight Elm and Shma, the sigils and past and present. Or by Professor Wilred. Sorry, I'm reading the publisher name there. Ben Aries, Robert Bird and Sons. Alright. Ours of the first era found in Ings, either of natural, bolting from the creations of air, accustomed to record various signs with the aid of. They did this in order that the realm might not be understood by strangers. Historically speaking, the sigils are not a new tradition. They have been found in every era and every culture and predate both written text and heraldic arts. However, today when we use the term sigil, we are referring specifically to the realm sigils, those crude circular marks of designation found on royal artifacts, buildings, and other documents. This book was written to make simple the understanding of these fascinating glyphs and to clearly display the correlation between each signal and the iconography of the realm's royal art. How is the image of a leafless burning tree seen in the geometric lines? How is the image of a leafless burning tree seen in the geometric lines? And what does this tell us of the kingdom's history? Each line, each circle, and each variation tells a story of the land. Even the adorned borders around the sigils have specific meaning. Sigil. To understand the realm sigil, we must first dismantle the symbol and identify the individual elements that make up the whole. Each sigil is comprised of four things: the core, the divining lines, the moats, and the border. The core. At the center of each sigil is a unique shape different for each realm. If the core gives us the name, and then the rest of the sigil tells us the history behind that name. Still, it is important to be able to identify and distinguish the core as the first step in deciphering any sigils, as all the other parts are meaningless if we don't first know the place we are describing. This would be Orindia, this would be Ben Aries, this would be ER. I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Rays. Earth from the core will come being lines splitting the sigil from one sigil to another. The differ in number, style, and the difference is in these immediately reveal several things. Counting the sigil will rev transportation where they on chips or have implode. Expanse of T's, chip roots. 8 rays on these, the directions, rows, carriages. Here, look, map. So, of trials, another 4 rays, however, can be configured as galloping, locomotion. Rays here are used in 4 realms that they rely based travel. Okay, so our mom, Mary Marigold, she disappeared in a carriage around Trinsdale. None of these start with a T. I was kind of hoping one would. But I think if we find the book, The History of Orindia, bet we can find that one of the locations changed its name, and then we'll learn what symbol it became. Then we figure out like what number of ray represents carriages. Maybe we'll be able to dig her up. We need an undestroyed copy of this book. Wavy lines are used to indicate extreme heat, the scorched air, the blazing sun, because the otherwise straight rays appear to be shimmering. Rainy realm is indicated with realms of 3 vertical lines pouring down. For more extreme stormy weather, a jagged lightning-shaped ray is used. A ray dotted with falling circles is used for colder realms in which snow is a common occurrence. Windy weather is displayed on the sigils by use of bent curved lines, rays buckling under the sun and under the high winds. Motes. On each sigil, floating between the rays, are small figures called motes. From the shape and style of these motes used on the sigil, we can tell the type of society a given realm proclaimed, if they are considered themselves mighty in arms or blessed by artistic and economic fortune. There's tribal, primitive realm, hunter and gatherers, agricultural, harvest and farming-based society and culture. Martial, military, metropolitan, large city, state, dense urban and populous centers, academic, a center for knowledge, advanced in various scholarly pursuits. These realms are home to many schools, universities, and libraries. Industrial, engineering-driven culture with a focus on manufacturing, invention, and production. Spiritual, an elevated reverence for nature, animals, and the forces that guide us. Poetic, strong focus on the advancement of the arts, writing, music, and language. And the border. Around each sigil is an adorned edge serving as a container for information within. Sorry about the decades of reading, everybody. It's just what we gotta do. There are 8 different borders, each one corresponding to a different color. These borders always correspond to the banner and national colors of that specific realm. White, black, red, violet, pink, green, yellow, orange, and white. Putting it all together by studying the core, rays, motes, and border of the sigil, you should be able to unlock the meaning behind what had previously been an undecipherable enigma. Red banners, martial fog. Fog. So I'm guessing that would be rainy lines? The martial motes. These are fog lines, I guess. In the Pentagon there. Red. It's going to be Orindia, right? No, Fen Aries. Which is where I'm at. Yeah, the weather's always foggy. So this is the sigil of where we are, Mount Holly. pretty foggy. We have learned so much, and yet so little. Did anything else cool happen? Like, there's that area back there. I mean, I'm in the area. There's no lighting. Feels so dark and secret. I want these torches to light. I don't know if they ever will. There's all the lights along this path that have still not lit. All right, we're going to go back to the orchard. Oh, hey, thank you for the follow, Lizzie Gold. We're going to go back to the path. We're going to turn on the gas. So for the smudge stacks, so that the apple orchard will continue to give us bonus steps. Boop. Alright, yeah, you go, smudgies. Miss anything? I'm so curious. One of the streamers I follow, Co-Carnage, I like him because he's a fairly wholesome streamer. He's also been playing Blueprints. And he's probably put like 30 hours into this game, at least. Now, I think he might be doing like a completionist thing. But I am very curious if the game like just takes that long. Okay, so on the chessboard, along the outside in the arcade, we put a pawn in this room. There is no pawn figure in this room. There's a pawn figure in that room. Okay, we put the queen here. No, we put the king here and the queen here. I'm going to go through the laboratory. Because we've got power connected to this room. So I want to see if there's another powerable room in here. There's security. Like if anything was powered, it would be this room. Neat, neat. Does that mean I can use the microwave? Like, what does power to this room actually mean? Or is it just a room that happens by coincidence? To have these power lines. I think I need to make you a weight room. It's going to eat my steps, but it is what it is. Now, there's no chess piece in here. Oh, wait, there. Yeah, there's a knight. Is there a chess piece in here? There isn't. I'm losing my mind. Was I supposed to lose half my steps in this room? Oh, the negative effects of the next 3 red rooms. I didn't even pay attention to what the nuclear shelter actually did. Now here, there are various saints. We just learned that she's Rhina. There's the bishop. The bishop goes in the chapel. That makes sense. We choosing this? Maybe that's it. Maybe. Putting the pieces on the chessboard gives us like a higher chance, or like opens the possibility of drawing that room. In which case you could make like a bridge like straight down the middle if you knew what pieces you had. Like if we put the bishop here, we could guarantee that the chapel be one of the selectable rooms there, maybe? It's a theory. What am I doing? I'm going to corridor. I'm gonna den the gem. I see pawns here. This pawn is golden. I don't know if that matters. Alright. Hey, a hallway. I swore I heard footsteps. They might be mine. We've never been to a locksmith. Just straight up keys for sale, huh? But can you solve all my puzzles? Yeah, this room sucks. Special key. Never mind, this room's kind of cool. Special key, huh? Billiard room? Billiard room. Alright. It is time to do maths. Alright, 13. 18. Minus 17 is 1. Times whatever is still going to be 1. Wait, what? 13. 18 minus 10. Minus 7. Oh. Yeah, how do I know which one to oh, well, it doesn't matter which one I multiply. 10 times 1 is 10. That's 20. I'm done. I was thinking of divide. Well, I don't know what I was thinking. 20 minus 15 is 5. Times 3 is 15. Again, divided by 15. Now that's 1. But 20 times 2 is 40. Divided by 4 is 10. Divided by 5 is 2. Divided by 2 is 1 again. Wait, no. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Whew. Coast minus coat. That's an S. I think I want to drop a parlor in here. Because I could use more gems. Both boxes next to this box contain gems. That's a lie. The box next to this box is true. So these are both lies. Box next to this box contains gems, which means that's true. Means gems. The office money. Can earn money and spread money. Or I could just get some more keys. Sometimes there's an upgrade disc in there. Is there anything I need to do in the office? Yeah, act like there isn't. I'm running out of rooms. I'm gonna put a kitchen here. +5 for every red room in your house for tomato soup. That's a good deal. Yeah, I want to keep walking around for a while, so we'll go ahead and do that. I'm low on money now, though. Oh, this is a new one. Paint and pint. Leaves the letter A. Got a microchip. What could that possibly go in? I've got all the permanent additions to the house. That's pretty cool. What time is it? Is there a clock in here? It's a wait, isn't it? I need to check. I need a clock. I believe I need a clock. Before I open up like the area to the antechamber, I'd like to pull a lever to actually make it mean something. Here are the clocks. The clocks are saying it's nearly 4 o'clock. I need to run. I need to get outside. To the shelter. Because the safe should be open. But only until like 4 o'clock. I may have screwed this one up. Run! I lost my mind. PM. Let's say 6 PM then. Still day 17, right? Day 17. Will you actually tell me what day it is? I'm worried that, like, one of these puzzles is going to show me that it's not only... sorry, not only is it not the 23rd, but we're actually frozen in time. Yeah, I don't think I made it to the safe in time. I think that was my problem. Because I think time passes when you go through a room. If I had a microchip and I needed to put it somewhere, the laboratory is where I'd put it, right? Answer is no. Where else would you put a microchip? Furnace? I think I just need more passageways. Got anything cool? You can buy gems. I don't want to do that. Gymnasium. Can't eat through my steps, but it's the only way to get more distance. Here's the garage. I feel like there's something about the laboratory. Money, give me oranges. I've never been to the veranda, but that's expensive. Boudoir. Feel like I don't know the combination to the safe. So we're not going there. I guess I can only get bathroom. What a cool bathroom you've got here. Is there some kind of secret? I don't think so. Here's the breaker box. Code check's kind of cool. BAC indicators. I don't think those matter. Yeah, turn that on. Turn that off. Turn that on. Keycard entry system off. Pine and spine. So and here we've got rain and wheat. What? I don't know this one. Either way, I'm up to like 30 of those letter puzzles. They're not that clear. Like car and card. That might be a new one too. We got some money. Is there something I wanted to buy for 5? No. Is it 6 o'clock yet? It's getting close. Might actually be 6. Oh wait, no, it's 5. How embarrassing. Been so long since I've seen analog clocks that like I'm starting to forget how to read them. That weird? Like I know how they work if I stop and think about it. I was helping my daughter with her like time reading homework recently. The Nook has a rook. Okay. I need a million steps or some kind of solution here. Libraries. I love libraries. Alright, what we got here? X marks the spot. Okay. It's literally a map to like right where I'm at. Like I don't have a choice. I'm gonna go there. What really concerns me is, do I need a shovel? Alright, a sightseer's guide to Reddington. That's me. Lowry. Lord Evanson. Who's Lord Evanson? That name sounds familiar. I think Lowry is one of the driver guide. Like one of the valets. Which makes sense why he would check this out. Alright. This is going to help me solve like the Reddington picture. Imagine if we all built our homes by solving puzzles. Honestly, my home's super old and it feels like I'm solving puzzles constantly. The current puzzle is we're sinking into the swamp. And the solution is like $20,000 or something like that. Anyway, that's depressing. The third largest city in Fen Aries and its site of its former capital, Reddington, is synonymous with the mountains, mystery, and magic. Most tourists head straight for the boardwalk and don't get much further than the botanical gardens. However, Reddington has much more to offer. Yikes. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. It's an old house and it's built in the bayou. If I bought any house in the neighborhood, it would have been sinking into the swamp. And I'm sure after financing it, like, it'll be $100 a month. But, still very depressing. Spectacular scenery, a historic castle, and a charming underground bazaar reward visitors who wish to explore further. Reddington is that type of unique, enchanting place that lingers in your mind and memories long after you leave her. The Botanical Gardens, Reddington's most popular attraction and a guaranteed crowd pleaser, the Botanical Gardens is loved by both locals and visitors of its Ajuran canopy house and mausoleum, its petal-covered trails, and mind-boggling variety of flowers. This is the reason springtime is Reddington's busy season. When I went home to Montana, we went to a place called the Butterfly House. And honestly, it's one of my favorite attractions I've ever been to. Just being in a room full of butterflies and flowers, and they were floating around. There were little button quails too. Cute little birds that ran around like kiwis. It was adorable. Situated just east of town, the Botanical Gardens offer a scenic and captivating tableau of the natural countryside. A cobblestone trail meanders past over 1,000 species of tropical plants, each remarkable in its own right, yet even more stunning set against the spectacular backdrop of the Reddington Mountains. Allow yourself at least an hour to indulge in this picturesque walk, which concludes at Mainway Station. Helix X Meserve, specimen of holly unique to Reddington's mountains. Oh, Helix X Meserve. That's on our sigil. Featherfall Keep. You will find sitting at the base of Mount Perma, Reddington's second highest summit, a historic site described by scholars as significantly important to the realm's past. Featherfall Keep, the former home of Lord William Epsom, has been, until recently, always been a private residence serving as a family home to the Epsons since before the Third Era. This is my grandma's dad. On my mother's side, William Epsom would be my great-grandfather. After the death of Lord Epsom, his eldest son, Lionel Epsom, left the estate never to return. However, the daughter stayed. That would be Clara, maintaining the residence and his staff until her marriage in 1951. At that point, Featherfall Keep ceased to be a family residence. It began operating as a historic house museum and tourist attraction, and the estate was designated a natural historical landmark in 1972. It is believed that by many that Featherfall was built by the first king of Orinda Aries, and when Reddington was still capital. However, surface documents containing conflicting dates have recently cast some doubt on the long-standing myth. Trinsdale Lake. Okay, so that is in Reddington. This is where my mom disappeared. Close your eyes and imagine tranquil, serene stillness, rolling fogs, clear water, and gliding swans. In the midst of all that beauty sits Trinsdale Lake, one of Fen Airy's premier vacation destinations, exclusive for its more privileged citizens. The lakeside resort and cabins have been frequently frequented by royalty and the realm's gentry for generations. However, on the southern shore of Lake, tourists are free to enjoy the views and rub elbows with the rich and famous in the 100 Bells Tea Room, which is open to the general public for lunch on Mondays and Fridays. That was the tea room where my mom was. So was she there on Friday? Or was it a Thursday? I wrote that down. Everything is significant. Hang on. I didn't write down the specific day. That's a shame. I didn't think like the day of the week would be important, I guess. My bad. Mount Holly, I know this place. At an elevation of 11,220 feet, Mount Holly is the tallest mountain in the Reddington Range and the highest peak in the entire realm. Beyond the physical challenge itself, climbing Mount Holly trail is a beautiful experience and one that many hikers and explorers will want to do at least once. It's only a few hours from Reddington to get to the trailhead, and you won't need any local guides or special gear if you tackle the trail during the summer season. However, those willing to give this mountain a significant amount of planning and research will be greatly awarded, or not they actually summit. On the opposite side of the peak, from far from the trail, rests the estate of Mount Holly. That's where I am, nestled between the summit's northern slope and saddle. This 80-acre mountain residence is almost as old as Reddington itself. However, unlike Featherfall Keep, the property has been completely private since since the closing of the Mount Holly Schoolhouse in '66. Still, hikers will be able to appreciate the house's unique architecture at a distance from one of the trail's many north-facing overlooks. 11,220 feet is pretty high for a mountain. That's about as tall as the mountains get in like Yellowstone National Park. Very cool. Anyway, Mainway Station Bazaar. For the sentimental tourists wishing to pick up a souvenir to remember their stay, one might try braving the Mainway Station Bazaar, but don't be too hasty. Without proper guidance, the Mainway Station can be a dangerous place. Located underground, this unique marketplace was once Reddington's Central Railway Station. In a time when the Realms trains were still in service, now the turnstiles, footbridge, and platform been appropriated and turned into a cavern of tents and torches. Whether you are bargain hunting, looking for adventure, or finding a memento to commemorate your village, the visit the Mainway Station Bazaar will be a worthy conclusion to your sightseeing adventure in Reddington. Hey, it's Reddington. Here's the Botanical Gardens. Morning Station Bazaar. There's Reddington. There's Mount Holly. So we're like over here. Reddington's on the other side of the mountain. The 100 Bells Tea Room is where Mom disappeared. She might be in the Angel Tower. Or maybe she's in the Burin's End. Across the Aries River. Mount Perma, Featherfall Keep. Or are we in Featherfall Keep? Looking at Mount Holly. Over Reddington. I don't think so. We look out down from the arcade, we don't see a city. The Reddington's got to be on the other side of the mountain, right? Which would put us here. Okay. All the words, all the information. We have house, hose. That's a new one. Okay, what am I doing? I'm just going to check out these records. We've only been in the mansion for 10 hours. It feels like so much more. We've been in this day for over an hour, well, almost an hour and a half. We've just discovered so much. See, that's definitely a bathtub. There's definitely something over there. You straight up took a selfie in the bathroom, huh? Baron of Mount Holly, name's nephew. So you're the Baron. You are the Baron. Need the laundry room. Okay, so according to the treasure map we picked up, there be treasure in this room. I also want to run back to the lavatory to look over the bathtub to see if there was something that we could pry open there to find like the secret lever. But I've got 7 steps. Could I even make it in 7 steps? No, there's no way. Guess we just find out what treasure's here. Can't make it to the shelter unless... Wine cellar. We need to keep going. We don't have the gem requirement, so I guess we get the cellar. And that would be the end of this particular adventure. Treasure map. Yeah? This looks like the spot. Now to find something to dig with. Alright, here's the deal. The commissary might have a shovel, but I'd never make it there and back in time. I think we're done. Unless I ordered a banana. The best I can do. But then I wouldn't have enough money to afford the shovel. Maybe I could make it to the bathroom? The answer is probably no. The answer is definitely no. And pull on this candle. Alright. Well, we had a good day. Give me a shovel. Whew. Okay. Look at the size of this. A red manor. 5 red rooms.